right, Sarah, thanks so much. Well, today, President Donald Trump is expected to meet with his national security team just 2 days after the military launched strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. And the Pentagon says more than 125 aircrafts, including B-2 bombers, were used in the mission and that the goal was accomplished.
Now the U.S. is pushing for peace and a return to negotiations with Iran, even as the president and his top advisors voice some differing viewpoints on whether there should be a regime change. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
This morning, mixed messages on Iran. On social media Sunday, President Donald Trump wrote, "It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change?" He posted hours after his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said this on CBS News Face the Nation.
What we are focused on is not the changing of the regime. Okay, that's up to the Iranian people.
Saturday's strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites were codenamed Operation Midnight Hammer. A White House official tells CBS News President Trump gave the final go-ahead from Marine One that same day during a call with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
The battle damage assessment is ongoing, but our initial assessment, as the chairman said, is that all of our precision munitions struck where we wanted them to strike and had the desired effect.
Satellite images show the aftermath of the strikes on Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. The president claimed on social media that monumental damage was done, with the largest damage far below ground level.
I knew in advance.
Yesterday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu acknowledged that he was given a heads up about the strikes. He says his country is close to achieving its goals in the conflict as Israel and Iran continue trading strikes. Anti-war protests popped up around the U.S. Sunday as the White House now calls for diplomacy with Iran over its nuclear program. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Iran has vowed to respond to the U.S. strikes. President Trump says that any retaliation from Iran will be met with force far greater than Saturday's strikes. A bulletin from the Department of Homeland Security says there is a heightened threat environment here in the U.S. following the strikes, warning of possible cyber attacks or violence from extremists.
And Saturday night, we spoke to U.S. Representative Nathaniel Moran, who defended the actions of the president.
This is a historic night. This is truly peace through strength and action is what we're seeing. These 3 sites presented a clear and present danger to the United States and to our ally Israel. They needed to be taken out, and this was a decisive and necessary action. This was something that needed to happen without prior notice. Now, we had given plenty of opportunity for Iran to come to the negotiating table, but they refused to do so, and they continued to pursue terrorism and a nuclear weapon, and that was simply unacceptable.
Well, you can watch that full interview on CBS19.tv.